What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Christian Cotta with the Lead Mode Show. This is episode 7. And if you've scrolled through the Newsfeed, try to run ads, try to figure out all that good stuff that Facebook keeps squashing, pushing down, telling you to give them money, just keep giving it to them and get nothing out of it. We've got you covered today with my friend, Charles Kirkland, founder of the Media Buyers Association, coming to you live on the Lead Mode Show in 1.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, everybody? It's your host, your friend, your boy, Christian Cotta with the Lead Solution on the Lead Mode Show. This is episode 7. Wherever you're tuning in from, Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, who knows? Wherever you guys are out on the live video feed, out on the stream, I want to welcome you guys in to another edition of the Lead Mode Show. Do me a favor, guys. This little gadget, this little device right here holds the key to unlocking everything that you and I have been looking for to figuring out how to generate more leads, more sales, and figuring out that combination to success online. So do me a favor, if this is your first time here, we want to know whether you're on Periscope or Facebook Live, that you're here for the first time, where you're tuning in from, what you do. So do us a favor, start by introducing yourself in the comments. My partners Dallin and Corey are in there. They're here to answer your questions, to get all those pressing needs out and into the open. And of course, help us out, do us a favor, and please share this out. If you're on Facebook Live, click the little share button. If you're on Periscope, swipe right, swipe up, whatever it is, send it out, and let's get more and more people in here each and every week so that we can answer your questions. And together, like I said, figure out that right combination to unlocking those profits online. So today, on this episode of the Lead Mode Show, we're covering something that you may or may not know or have heard of before, something that is really on the forefront. It's been around for more experienced marketers, that they've been using this for a while. And you've probably heard the term, but maybe aren't so familiar with exactly why you need to do it or why it's beneficial in your business. And that term is native advertising. So when we put the title, How to Profit in the Facebook Newsfeed, Facebook's constantly changing. They're the big gorilla. They're the behemoth online, and we kind of have to play by the rules. And so because of that, I'm bringing in a friend of mine, somebody that I highly respect as a paid traffic expert, and somebody that I think you guys will, number one, get a kick out of. Number two, enjoy hearing all of his insight. And so I'm bringing in my friend Charles Kirkland. He's the founder of the Media Buyers Association, and he educates and consults businesses and entrepreneurs on a wide variety of media channels, paid traffic, just basically how to get drive more people to your website, more eyeballs on your offers. He's a father. He's a funny guy. He's a cool dude. So with no further ado, let me bring in my friend Charles.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, Charles? How
How
was
are you
that for an
doing?
introduction?
Dude, that was great. I was thinking, my gosh, I need to meet this person. We should meet and find who this person is. But thank you so much. I'm usually very humble. I seldom say great things about myself, so it's nice to know that somebody actually appreciates me.
Well, it's funny, Charles, because we have a very good mutual friend who's the person that I first found you through, Todd Brown.
Mhm.
And so it's funny because I was just sharing this with Dallin and Corey the other day when we were talking about bringing you on the show, is that the first time I saw you talk about media and paid traffic was inside of the six-figure funnel formula in the Traffic Masters bonus. And
Yes.
so anytime there's a title like that, right? Traffic Masters, it was you, Justin Brooke, Jonathan Mizell, and Gower Chaudhry.
Mhm.
So that's a pretty good lineup of guys. And so I'm glad that we could bring you on our show and introduce people to you. So why don't we start with this?
Okay.
Most people and most of our audience, real estate agents, network marketers, people that are trying to build their business, but maybe aren't living in the digital world as closely as you and I. And so they're familiar with advertising, but why don't you kind of help us understand your company's not Facebook Advertising Association,
Mhm.
it's Buyers Association. So can you help distinguish and kind of explain what media buying is?
Yeah, I'll give you the quick, I guess the 1,000 feet overview. At the end of the day, from a standpoint of media, people look at it from a standpoint of like, where do you go? How do you go? What the big deal is? The issue with media is it encompasses more than just digital. When you're looking at it, businesses go where the leads are. The leads are the consumers. That's who they want. So we encompass email, banner ads, Google, YouTube, Gmail, Facebook, social media, Twitter, and larger display advertisers. So we basically look at it from a standpoint, there's no shortage of traffic. I mean, there's truly not a shortage of traffic. Typically what happens, there's a shortage of conversions where clients will be like, hey, I need traffic for offer A, B, and C. The problem often comes in is when you start sending the traffic, people envision, if I had 1,000 clicks a day. Well, 1,000 clicks a day is not really a lot to motivate. If you said, hey, Charles, give me 1,000 clicks, as a media buyer, I can't send you 1,000 clicks and really make money. We need to talk larger volumes of traffic. And that's the key. It's the ability to get large volumes and also to get smaller volumes, because you don't wake up and go, man, I just need 10,000 clicks a day. Nobody wakes up to that. You grow it by getting 100 clicks, 1,000 clicks, 5,000. And as you scale up, you get larger volumes to the point you're hitting 30, 40, 50. I mean, I know guys who literally will do 50,000 clicks a day. But the only way that can work, you have to be in these very broad mainstream, like Forex, real estate, make money online, make money, business opportunity, health, fitness, wellness. That's where most people make the mistake. If you're not in one of those niches, I know niches, if you got 100 clicks a day, you'd be the biggest fish in the pond. So it truly depends on your niche, your opportunity, and what you're trying to promote.
And so when we talk about all these different media channels and you talk about these niches, last week we covered all the different social channels and how each social channel has a different vibe to it as far as how you're going to drive traffic and the type of content that you're going to put out there. When we're talking about clicks, so I know you're an expert in CPV, which is click per view, right?
Yeah, contextual pop-ups.
Contextual pop-ups. Those are banner ads, things like that, right?
Yeah.
And then also CPC, which is cost per click, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. PPV, which is really, as an example, it's ad-supported content. So just the way the news really, you go there, it's beautiful screen, massive desk, all these, attractive people dressed up in suits and dresses. The fact is, they don't give you the news. They give you the news because they're attracting eyeballs, and they sell those eyeballs in the form of advertisements. PPV, or contextual pop-ups, is really the same concept. They give the end user something, which could be an app, a discounted coupon, free video games, free something. And from that, you are agreeing to see 4, 5, 6, X number of pop-ups per day. You're not going to see 100 because they don't want to kill the goose that laid the golden egg. The beautiful thing about that is we can get traffic from places that we would otherwise be limited. So I'm going to use an example here. Let's just say you wake up one day and Marketo is if you want to go use Marketo, it's a $100,000 solution, or HubSpot, $24,000 solution. There's no way you could go to Marketo or HubSpot and say, just give me some of your people. I just want some of your people. They wouldn't even give you a time of day. You can use contextual pop-ups to bid on top of those domains. So, somebody's going to Marketo, they have the AdWord installed, boom, your pop-up, which could be various sizes, could be a pop under. It's, don't want to get too technical in it, but your ad could appear on the Marketo site as a pop-up. HubSpot, this is a way you could target people that otherwise would not give you the ability to get their traffic. And when you look at it from that standpoint, it works great there again with mass media type offers, real estate, health, fitness, MLM, business opportunity, make money, things of that nature where there's no shortage of traffic. Where it really just falls apart is if you're in some micro niche. We own a business where we sell plans to build, like a sun trellis, a pergola. If I get 20 clicks a day, it's a good day. 100 clicks, you're really doing good. There's just not a huge demand for that except for like 2 months out of the year. So there's no need to have that in from a contextual standpoint. But if you said, hey, here's a Forex trading product, guess what? That would be great for contextual or PPV pop-ups.
And so when we talk about these niches, then part of what we really need to be talking about is expectations.
Yes.
And setting realistic expectations. Because I think one of the biggest challenges, especially if you're new to online marketing, is we get these grandiose, we see these grandiose headlines. You and I come from kind of the same lineage. We'll call it lineage.
That's good.
How we kind of learn stuff. I know that you work close with Todd, and Todd's one of my primary mentors. So never make a claim bigger than your proof, and only make your claim as big as your proof, right? But I don't think that many marketers, especially, that's kind of how you can tell the difference between seasoned marketers and average marketers, right? Is by the huge grandiose claims. So what is it? Why are native ads so much more important? Why is this something that people need to be focusing on?
Well, the reality is we see so many ads every day. We just tune it out. Like there was a time when AOL said, "You got mail, man." You print that out, and run around the house. You were Mr. Big Shot. Now AOL says you got mail. You're like, bleep, 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 and bleep. What's happening? We're just bombarded with so many ads from Facebook and Google and MySpace and insert name of social media network, makes no difference. We're just hit by so many ads until we tune it out. I mean, when's the last time you went down the road and go, my gosh, that is a wonderful billboard? When billboards were new, everybody's like, oh gosh, hey honey, did you see that billboard? It's for the local bank. Take the horse and buggy around the corner. The problem we've got is we're hit with so many ads that we have to use what's called ad camouflage. We need to make our ads not look like an ad. I mean, I cannot tell you the last time I woke up and go, I just can't wait to click on that ad to get sold something. That doesn't happen. Now we click on an ad and go, hey, here's an article about how to use, Oprah Super Magic Sideberry, Rachel Ray edition. We see the ad, we click the article, and it's like, hey, it's content, and it creates a grease slide. We see the ad, we read the ad, and by the time we realize it's selling us something, we've already built a desire for that. When we're online, we see the banner ads and stuff like that. Banner ads used to work great. They still work good. They'll always work good. There's always a certain quality of prospect or a certain prospect that will click the ad because you're solving an immediate pain right here, right now, right this second. But most people just don't go out looking to click banner ads. So we have to disguise it as content. So we use something called a pre-sale page. Just think of it as a invitation to the party. It's going to be great. Come check it out. That's really what a pre-sale page is. It's an invitation to come buy product from me. That's all it is. It's not here to do anything else but to say, you have a desire. Look, we solve your problem. You know, at the end of the day, it's about the Benjamins. It's Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. PayPal depends on where you're at. That's what you need to look at. That's what your prospects want to do. They want to buy something to solve the problem. People get a high when they buy something. It's like, you know, I buy my iPhone. I mean, I'm strutting out there like I'm Mr. Millionaire. I've got, you know, an iPhone. Guess what? After a week later, I fell behind the couch. I'll get it later. The same thing with ads. You need to basically make sure your ads take your prospect. It stokes that desire. A good example, boy, hopefully I don't get in trouble with this one. Husband, wife, significant other, you know, we all like a good strip tease. We all like to be teased to some extent. That's what a good pre-sale page does. It teases your prospect. It creates desire. It stokes that fire. So when they get down to it, they're ready to click and buy. They've already pre-sold themselves. I need a solution. I didn't know I had a problem until yesterday and read this pre-sale page, and now I got to fix it. That's what
the awareness level.
Yes, you basically create that desire.
Yeah. So, Rob, can you put up this the slide that we put together with regards to native ads? And I found this infographic, and I wanted to bring this on here and talk about this with you, Charles, because when we think about the effectiveness of native ads, there's kind of two parts to it, right? Number one is there's the part that people don't want to be bombarded with just a ton of advertisements. So you mentioned it, the banner blindness, where when you've seen an ad so many times, you just don't, it just whizzes right past you. But when I came across this, I thought to myself, this would be great to get Charles's take on it, because we look at some of these statistics and we see, you know, native ads versus banner ads. And you've got a lot of experience with both of those. Experience with the banner ads and what works. And one of the things that cracks me up when I hear you talk about banner ads is when you say that the uglier, the better.
Yes.
And then in regards to native ads, you know, we recently purchased your Native Ads Made Simple product on Black Friday. And I went through it, and there was a couple things that were really key to me, where some Facebook experts are saying you want to make it look like it's part of the newsfeed. You were saying the exact opposite. With the colors, like, you know, greens and reds and all that stuff. So I want to get your take on that, especially as it relates to native ads and people that are trying to start running ads on Facebook to have more success.
Yeah, you'll love this. There's actually a double take on this, so just follow this one for a second. Let's just say I don't know you from Adam's house cat. You don't know me. I don't know you. You're a prospect. You hate my guts. You know, you're going through the news feed. When you see an ad, you're like, it's an ad. I don't like this. I mean, we act like it's a disease. Like you click the ad, you're getting a disease. You're crippled for life. So that's what we do when we see these ads. We don't want to touch them. So when we do these ads, we want them to be camouflage. We don't want them to be too intrusive. But when you know somebody, you like somebody, and there's already a pre-existing relationship, we have a different take on it. In your news feed, I want to stand out like a sore thumb. I want you to see me because you've already opted into my list. I don't want you to ignore me, and I really want to be on the top of your mind. So when we're doing native ads for like our existing house list, like there's one I had a few days ago. I had like this little zebra hat with the little tassels, and like Heidi with the tassels, you know, doing the MC Hammer pose. We ran that because I knew it would stand out in the news feed like a complete sore thumb, because you know me, you like me. I'm not trying to hide. I'm not trying to trick you. I want you to buy the product. I'm not even going to joke about it. You need to buy the product. But if you were to see that ad and you didn't know who I was, who's this idiot? Scroll on and keep on going. So we use it as a double approach. If you don't know me, you don't like me, you don't trust me, I need to basically get you to opt in and get you to know me, like me, trust me. Then I'm going to use ads that are completely, you couldn't miss it with a country mile. So we use a double take on that. Which approach is better? It depends. I mean, we found that showing something that is an ad to a prospect who doesn't know me, you're just another ad in the middle of my news feed. I hate your guts. I'm going to hit the little, not a like, but the angry face on it. I'm going to hit the angry face, and I hope you die. We get emails like that from, I can't believe you hacked in my news feed. You sorry, SOB, blah, blah, blah. I mean, people get mad. They believe it is their news feed, and you somehow, as an evil marketer, have the nerve to interrupt them. The people that know you, like you, and trust you, like, man, Charles is like an idiot. I like him. Let's hang out with this dude. See, that is the difference. It's not really a one size fits all. Every case has a different scenario.
And so in regards to like let's use real estate, for example. If you're a real estate agent and you're trying to generate leads for, new buyers and new sellers, you're marketing in, two different zip codes in your area. And obviously there's tons of people that live in that area. So you're not necessarily, going to know every single person, especially if you're a new real estate agent. When they're looking at running their first ads inside the newsfeed, rather than run something, would you recommend that they run something that's got their picture on it, that looks all nice and pretty, or, what should they do?
You're going to think I'm the dumbest person in the world, but we use PowerPoint because it's hideous. This is what happens. When you look at your competition, what are they using? Most of the people that you're dealing with, they have Photoshop or Paint or Canva or something, and they go in there and the picture's airbrushed. They have like the perfect complexion. Their hair is blowing in the wind. It's like you just did a Victoria's Secret model shoot. Everything is perfect in it, and you're like, you immediately tune it out because it is too perfect. Now, there's a time and place for perfect. I mean, if you're a brand advertiser, obviously Levi is not going to have, Charles here with an unbuttoned shirt, messy hair, 1980 headset. They're going to have a certain look, certain feel. They're appealing to those prospects, and that's great. The problem you're about to run into is if you look like everybody else in your newsfeed, why do I pay attention to you? I mean, if you said, people buy because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And that's a big deal. Quite often, like in our marketing, like one of my hobbies is I collect AR-15s. I enjoy target shooting. It's just, and I completely offend a whole segment of the audience. They're like, my gosh, I can't believe Charles shot those paper clowns. He's an evil, insert name or whatever. The guys who are like me are like, dude, I want to hang out with you. Let's go to the beach. Let's go boogie boarding. Let's go shoot something. In fact, let's go grill some ribs in the back. You got a six-pack somewhere? I'm good to go. I appeal to that audience. The audience that says, and believe me, we offend plenty of people. There's no doubt about it. And it's not that we particularly want to offend people, but if you said, hey, Charles, would you like a vegan burger? No, I'd rather have a root canal with no painkiller. I do not want your vegan burger. What I want is to hang out with people who know me, that like me, and trust me. Because the reality of it is, if you're a real estate agent and you're trying to be vanilla to everybody, you're that dude. Oh, yeah. Do you want Bilo milk, Piggly Wiggly milk, Pet milk, Coburg milk? It makes no difference. It's all stinking milk. But when you're chocolate milk in a world of vanilla, all of a sudden people are like, hey, I want that. The key is your prospects, when you're selling you as a brand, it's completely different. Marketo is some big nameless $100,000 solution. Charles Kirkland, some crazy dude that you like to hang out with. That's the key. That is the key. We often, like in our videos, the worst thing I've done, I'll tell you this, I screwed this up beyond belief. A few years ago, I had this coach. He was like, Charles, you just need to get rid of this stupid personality and put on a suit, put on a tie, and you need to be professional. I even got my hair cut, and I looked like a decent, normal human being. And I'm up here with the video, like the tie. I mean, I'm thinking I am like being choked out. I'm in an MMA match. They're choking me out. I struggled. I'd make videos, and I'm like, I wouldn't listen to this idiot. It's like, hello, my name is Charles Kirkland. I'm going to tell you 7 ways you can use to, visit Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. And why don't we grab some cannabis while we're here, and we'll all go on a night. It just didn't work for me. So with that, when we went back to, okay, I can't do it. I've tried. I've given it my best shot. I can't do it. Not me. All of a sudden, sales go back up because we appeal to that certain buyer. I give an example. A friend of mine, Justin Brooks, he appeals to pretty much the same buyer that I've got. Same thing with Jonathan. I was on the phone with him for probably about an hour and a half yesterday. We're shooting the ideas back and forth. There are other media buyers who I don't gel with. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't want a vegan sandwich. I want ribs, and I want barbecues, and I want to go do fun things. your prospects, they can get traffic from anywhere. I mean, when they're buying from me, they're buying from you. They're buying into you as a personality. They're not necessarily buying what you've got, because at the end of the day, there's nobody on the planet, with the exception of probably Frank Kern, that has something nobody else has. People buy into Frank for the personality, buy into you for the personality, buy me into the personality. The fact is, I could go to YouTube and figure out how to run traffic today. If I could watch a video. The thing that really makes it different is you inject your personality.
And so I'm trying not to crack up here, because this is, I love the animation. I did some freestyling at the start of our show, like a couple of weeks ago, and the guys were ribbing me for it. But I think that's ultimately it's how you stand out, right? If you can't do the same thing that everybody else is doing, expect to stick out and make some sort of impact on people. You talk about being chocolate milk in a world of vanilla milk, and it just made me think. I've got a 6-year-old daughter, and she wanted chocolate milk before bed the other night, and I asked her why, and I said, drink some water. And she told me no, she didn't like the texture of water. The texture of chocolate milk better. So it was just funny how you said that. Now, let's take this. So I know you've got experience in Twitter, you've got experience on Google, Yahoo, Facebook, but most people are going to venture for the first time into running ads on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And you talk about this concept of a bridge page.
Yep.
And bridge pages are something that when I first started to understand how to use them, it was like lightning rods.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, how come I was spending ads, running ads before, and they were costing me an arm and a leg. And all of a sudden I took the time to sit down and craft something that, mm-hmm. nicely written. It probably wasn't the best bridge page between you and I, but it got click. And it started to make everything make more sense. And so let's talk about the different types of native advertising a little bit, specifically starting with the advertorial or the bridge page. And I kind of want to get like your best practice, your best tip for somebody that's looking at these different types. So, Rob, if you could do me a favor, could you throw up the slide with the forms of native advertising? And Charles, I want to have you kind of walk us through these types of native advertising, starting with the advertorial or the bridge page.
The key to the advertorial or the bridge page is, remember, your prospects absolutely hate your guts. They don't want to read it. I mean, at any given day and time, your prospects are thinking, I got like a million things I'd rather do than be sitting here reading your website. In fact, I don't like reading. That's why I don't read the newspaper. I watch the news. Most of your prospects are really trying to talk themselves out of reading or doing anything that requires thought. That is the first thing to understand. So when you're writing these pages, originally the first pages we wrote, man, they were like you would have thought a PhD had written them. And it's like, when you start doing the tracking studies, it's like, oh, he got to 2 seconds of the page and all of a sudden he leaves. Just a good product I always call Hotjar. Grab it. Sounds like a porn site. Go to hotjar.com. But go there. We'll actually do a tracking study on how long people visit your site and what they do. The key to understand is every sentence he's reading or she's reading, they're thinking, my BS meter is up. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to trust it. So what we do often with this is we start asking problems, because do you have a problem doing X? Do you have a problem doing Y? Would you like an end result? Yes. I need the prospect to basically, as if you were pitching from a live stage, have many trial closes. I need them to say yes, yes. If you're starting out with 3 questions and they read those 3 questions and they can say no to one of them, your sales lost. If I came to you and said, hey, I see you broke down on the side of the road with your Corvette. Do you need, you need me to help you change the tire? Yes. I'm just using this as an example. Hey, I noticed you've got a broken windshield. You need some duct tape? Yes. Hey, I noticed your Corvette's dirty. Do you need me to put some mud on it? No. Anytime your prospect can say no to any of the first 3 questions, your sale is lost. So you have to say yes, yes, yes. The next thing you want to do is basically tell a story. We have been positioned from kids to learn stories sell. And the issue is, it's actually harder to write a short story than a long story. That it would seem like counterproductive. Like, I can write any story. No, you need to write a very short story, which will basically be, I was obese. I could not lose weight. I bought African mango here, and it's made with pure African mango, and it's actually endorsed by Rachel Ray, Oprah, and Dr. Oz. And the fact that it only grows in a small mountain village of North Africa, and the berry comes in bloom 2 days a week. That's the story. And the fact that some guy had to climb the mountain, risk being eaten by lions, tigers, and bears, and then that's how you got it. That is the story you need to tell. Because if you're reading the story and you go, oh, it's made in a chemical lab in San Francisco, and they're using illegal aliens to blister pack the product together, and it looks like a copy of Breaking Bad, that may not be what people want to hear. So you have to tell a story in such a way that you ask 3 questions. You tell a story that seems at least somewhat interesting, because nobody really wants to hear it anyway. And then we create the call to action, which is, in this case, click here to get named. A lot of times we have click here to go to a sales page, which could be a CPA page, or we'll have click here to get a little of this. Click here to get your coupon. Will instantly activate it. They click a button, enter in their name and email, which becomes now a new lead for you, and we take them over to the CPA page where they were going to get a trial discount no matter what. $4.95, it'll get it shipped to you, and you're basically stuck on auto bill till you die. So, I'm just, being honest about it.
And so the bridge page is like, out of all the native advertising, what would you say the percentage is that's like the most widely used one, or the most commonly known one, right?
Absolutely. I'll give an example. A few years ago, do you remember seeing the girl who made $7,800 working from home? Her and her little daughter were going on a vacation trip. She was a divorced single mom with the 8-year-old daughter. She had no education, had no job. By the way, you can Google it. It's 1 million people had copied that template. It was on a fake news site, so it looked official. The key is there have probably been, a few $100 million in sales because of this exact same story and the exact same picture, the exact same girl. Wow. The reality of it is it's hard to say no to a good story. And the fact that you're telling a story, people don't go, man, that's bull. God. They don't point you out as a liar because you're telling a story. I'll say everything you do, make sure it's FTC compliant. But when you're telling that story, that is the simplest one to tell. I had struggle. I figured it out. This is how you can do it. Hero's journey, short, condensed, 2-3 paragraphs, call to action. And when you land on these pages, you need to have the word advertisement at the top. We know we can't use fake news sites anymore. Not that I ever have, and not that I would recommend you doing that. But we used to land on pages, and it'd be like, hey, here's the Doppler radar for your area. And here's today's date. Here's like News 10 special thing. And you're like, gosh, this is the greatest. It's on the news. It has to be official, because we are conditioned by mainstream media to be sheeples. And if it looks like it's official, hey, it's got to be official. And nobody has fake news sites. Nobody would do that. So that's exactly what you want to look at. Not to do fake news sites, but you want to make it look official, look it clean, make it look like it's worth reading.
And so outside of the advertorial, we've got a couple other forms. How would somebody go about, using instant content or search advertising or, recommended content? I know sponsored listings, a lot of times, like when you Google something, and then you've got the top 2, and then you've got like 3 things over on the side. What are some tips you have on those, or when would those be the best route for somebody to go if they're trying to use native advertising?
One of the keys to remember about native advertising is everybody else is selling crack and you're selling candy. That's probably the easiest way to put this out. When you look at this stuff, it's like 7 ways to become millionaires. 27 moms who lost a lot of weight. What you want to look at is you're competing in an environment that is hyped up. You're competing in an environment with probably the best of the best. You're fighting in the Olympics. When you're looking at those other landing pages, you click it and it's like content. It appears to be content because nobody wants to really click an ad. And it appears to be sexy. It's content. The images are like hyped up. We've seen the image of like the big red circle and the point to it. It's like, Obama's not going to make it to his next, birthday or, 7 thing. That's what you want to look at. You have to be more sensational than the next guy. And at the end of the day, it depends on your niche, obviously. But if you're selling like consumer-based products like eye cream, fitness, health, weight loss, whatever, you need to make sure that your ad looks sexy. Typically, we'll take 100 images and test those through the ad. So literally, we will roll through a boatload of images to see what works. Once we find the ad that works from a headline standpoint, from an image standpoint, we put it together, then start creating multiple variations of that. But the key is that there's no shortage of traffic, and you absolutely have to split test everything you can. And the thing is, you just go to some place like adbeat.com or number of other spy tools. You go there, you check it out, you see what's working, and you do not reinvent the wheel. Every client who I've ever talked to go, man, I know that's how they're doing it, but I'm doing it differently. Really, what that means is I'd like to burn a bunch of money and then come back to you with my foot in my mouth. You copy what's working. There's no place for originality in most marketing. There's a place for, I'm going to one up what you've done, but there's no place for originality. Everything that's working, the guys that do original stuff usually have arrows in their back, and that's not a good feeling.
And you said something that's key there. You said that there's no shortage of traffic, and typically people think that they have a problem with sales or their product or something. And truth be told, they don't have a sales problem; they have a traffic problem.
Yes, absolutely.
Have enough of the right people. They're putting in front of the wrong people. And then, we joke about this all the time, but I'm truly curious to know, like, how much money has Facebook made off of advertising just because people don't know the first thing about it when it comes to.
It's crazy. It would be insane. And this is the thing, if you go to Facebook, they make it so easy. I've got a client, we took over their account. We went into their fan page and it goes, hey, boost this post and you'll immediately get 35 new clicks this week. I mean, they make it so simple. You push a button. You don't have to log in and, figure out who your demographics are, your age, your name. No. They want to make it simple because, grandma can't figure this stuff out on her own. So, she needs to let Facebook take care of it. Same thing with Google. Google has gone to push a button. We'll figure it out. It's going to be okay. Just give us a little money. We'll solve your problems with Visa, MasterCard, American Express. That's what they want to do. That's absolutely what they want to do. And there are plenty of people who are feeding the machine like a slot machine. Like, baby, I know it's gonna pay off next week. It's hot. I feel it. That's what people act like. Truth of the matter is, you go in there and it's like, okay, I want to hit people from 35 to 45. I want them to be males. I want them to make more than $100,000 a year. They need to live in the zip code. They like this thing, and they drive this car, have a house, 2 kids, have a dog. Wife is named Jenny. I mean, you need to go in super hyper specific. There's never a time to go in there and say, well, I'm just going to just see what happens. No, we don't want to see what happens. I can predict the future. You're going to lose your money. The only way to make this work is to have it hyper specific. We just did a campaign for a client, and he's like, Charles, there are only 2,000 people here. I'm like, yeah, there are 2,000 in the U.S., 17,000 worldwide. And he's like, and I'm like, there are no buts about it, dude. This is the thing that we've got. You're telling me this is your perfect audience. I mean, there's no if, ands, or buts. This is who you want. Yes? Okay. The next question is, you've got a handful of people. We're going to run through these people in all of about 2 days. We need to have a boatload of brand new ads to rotate. Each one of these clients can be worth about $50,000. There are only 2,000 of them. I can live with that. I would much rather have 2,000 people that are worth a lot of money than 1 million people that are worth $1. Because at the end of the day, they're going to see me until they're going to like, I dreamed some idiot was standing in a YouTube video talking. That's what you want to do. You want them to know who you are. And it's much easier when you know your exact audience. Most people go, I need it. Like, they use the rule of thumb. They go, I hear, you need 1 million people. Why? So-and-so said that. Well, so-and-so selling super endorsed Oprah acai berry. Of course they need 1 million people, because the first 10,000 are going to complain. They need new blood, new eyeballs. You need to find your perfect audience and then hammer them till they buy or they die. There's only 2 ways to do it. They buy or they die. That's all you're asking your prospects to do, to become clients.
So I want to real quick, since we are on live video, sometimes it's easy for us to get into the conversation and forget. So I just want to address those of you that are still with us on Periscope, those of you that are watching on Facebook Live. inside the group on our page if somebody shared this out. And if you've got questions, I want to remind you guys that we've got Charles here, wealth and knowledge. We want to know your questions based off of what we're talking about. Are you running ads? Are you thinking about running ads? What's going on with you and your business that brought you here? Introduce yourself, and of course, do us a favor. And if you're on Periscope, click the little guy in the corner. Give us a follow. If you're on Facebook, hit the button that says subscribe so you don't miss any of our other future shows. And let's jump back in here. Dallin, and Corey will address any of your guys' questions. They'll let us know if there's questions, and we'll be happy to bring them up for Charles and I to discuss. But Charles, let's talk about something here. Native ads are important, not just because they work, but they're also kind of important since we're talking about how to profit in the Facebook newsfeed. Mm-hmm. They're kind of important, especially with playing by the rules of the sandbox that you're playing in, right?
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts? Let's first talk about what some of the challenges that people are going to be facing now with the new guidelines that Facebook's rolling out. I know that we've been trying to kind of navigate through some of them ourselves, and it's been having a scratch in our head saying, wait, this just worked like a month ago.
Yep.
That's not working.
The big thing you want to look at is Facebook is utterly terrified of being sued by the FTC. They're a public company. All it takes the FTC to drop the hammer going, you were advertising Super Acai Oprah Berry. You know that's illegal. Facebook doesn't want, you end up on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, Facebook promoting, fake supplements. That's kind of the issue that they're having to look at. If you make I can tell you this, there was a time we could make, we could say, hey, how to get 17,128 clicks in 24 hours with 5 tools. There was a time that ran on Facebook forever. And today, if I put that up, my account would probably get shut down in I'd be calling a rep like, please fix it for me. The problem that you have is at this point in time, Facebook is maturing to the point of Google. If you can't run it on Google, you're not going to run it on Facebook. They don't want to see claims. They don't want to see hype. One of our ads got disapproved this week because I used the word Facebook in the body copy. And they're like, nope, not going to happen. I'm like, last month I ran the ad, and the month before that, and the month before that. And they're like, no. So what we're positioning, what we're doing is transitioning to basically more story-based stuff. This is like somebody's story. And obviously it needs to be a real story. Don't ever make this up or you're really being big doo-doo. We're going to be talking about, hey, this is a story, this is a solution, or here's a video. Now that you've seen that, go check it out. The video, when I'll tell you this, like stuff that we have to run in Google, it's completely neutered down. I would love, we could really jack up the conversions on, AdWords if they'd let me see certain things, but you can't. You can't say, hey, here's how to get 17,000 clicks. You can't even say, here's how to get 1,000 clicks. We're like, are you trying to grow your business using paid media? That's a completely different tone than how to get 17,000 clicks. End result could be the same, but the way you say it's completely different. We've taken out numbers, claims, testimonials, and if you want to play in the sandbox, everybody else is going to have to do the same. So when that happens, everybody really becomes an 11 playing field. The question is the guys that can hang on the longest and still run the hyper, and I won't call it hype, but use the more persuasive copy, those guys will profit. But at the end of the day, I've had ad accounts shut down. And I'll tell you this, you have a backup to your backup with these accounts, but you understand if you got shut down for something, you do not run it again in a different account because it's going to happen. We're at the point, like if you go to the NBA, there's like not a single claim on the site. And we have to have that to even be compliant these days.
What are some of the things that you think now with the new guidelines and what you're saying they're moving towards and maturing towards Google? Like you mentioned bridge pages, since that's where we're sending people. Before we used to be able to send them to a squeeze page with an exit pop, all that kind of stuff. Now we got to make sure that the title of the page and the description doesn't have must have and click here and those types of things. So now the bridge page was the solution, but it seems like even more so, you just mentioned not just your ad, but now the titles and the body copy on the bridge page have to work. We had to take the exit pop off of the bridge. what are some other suggestions that you would make to make Facebook happy if you want to be able to pay to play?
One of the problems they've got is we've all seen those two-step opt-ins. You click it and an entire box pops up. Well, guess what? That's where you enter your information, but most people, their privacy policy is like on that window below it, down at the bottom, probably excluded. When you join the NBA, it pops up and there's a thing, click here for terms of service. Hyperlinks, like on the little pop-up box, there's a hyperlink that says privacy policy, terms of service. You can click that and go to the privacy policy or the terms of service. The issue that they want to have is they want to make sure that people are completely transparent. I'll tell you this. One of the reasons we went to a free membership model with the NBA was my rep told me, I will never ban you because you've given out a free membership. That's not a problem. I will ban you for giving out a stupid lead magnet, or in this case, he goes, a PDF download. He goes, if your PDF download was so stinking good, why do you have to get somebody's name for it? That's the thing to remember. They're looking at it where I'm like, hey, it's a free membership. You can't log in if I don't have your password. I can't send you your password without an email. So you kind of have to like join the NBA as a free membership. That's the type of stuff we had to move to. And we've moved to that a year ago because we saw the writing on the wall. We knew what was coming down the pipeline. I didn't want to get caught with my pants down by my ankles. So one of the reasons we've done that is it's completely Google compliant. Google has no problem with free memberships. It's also got a paid upgrade. We don't, maul you with 25 exit pops. When you opt in, it's like, guess what? Here's a headline, no claim. Here's what we do. Here's how we're going to help you. And here's how to click. Go join. When you land on that checkout page, it's checkout, guarantees, privacy policies, everything is HTTPS. And when you land on it, there's like that header goes all the way across. With the NBA site, virtually any page you click on, you got home, contact, about us, join, support, consultation, whatever. We don't take people to pages anymore where they can't click out and free roam. Do I make
navigation bars? You think more important on bridge pages? You also mentioned like a message saying that this is an advertorial page. What are your thoughts? What are the requirements that you're seeing with that for somebody that's never built a bridge page?
What we're seeing now is they want it at the top and they want it to be clear. If you're selling them something, we can no longer get away with being news or something like that. It literally says, it has to say advertorial. And we're also we had a rep tell us, if this is a fictitious story, you need to put it at the bottom of the page. This is a fictitious story. If you're using a pen name, it better have this is a fictitious story. This is a pen name. These do not represent real things. Same thing on our webinars. I mean, literally, we're like giving out tons of disclaimers. So what we're doing to kind of bypass a lot of the stuff, we're sending traffic to GoToWebinar, because let's face it, GoToWebinar is recognized. It's a webinar. I mean, it's GoToWebinar. I mean, nobody has any problem going to GoToWebinar. I can't control it. There's no remarketing, but you can opt in and I can add you to my list. See, that's the key that everybody else is fighting over. Like, oh gosh, what kind of lead magnet, what kind of PDF we give away? Give them something that they would have to, because only way you can watch a webinar in a future date is to fork over your name and your email. And when you start doing that kind of stuff, it becomes a different user experience.
Awesome. Any other tips, anything that people should be aware of, coming down the line now and starting to venture into Facebook ads or media buying that you would just kind of tell them to keep top of mind?
And one thing to remember is there is seldom an issue with traffic. Most people just don't know they don't have a clue who the right kind of traffic is. Their traffic is anybody with Visa, MasterCard, American Express. No, your buyer has to have certain characteristics. If the traffic you're buying, you can pinpoint down male, female, age groups, married, single. You need to understand that, because it's so hyper competitive. We're past the days of getting just mass amounts of traffic that we're just eyeballs. Now we need to focus on getting the right kind of traffic, and only the right kind of traffic.
And so it's not, biggest caveat, I think, for new advertisers, new media buyers, is it's not about the cost, the cost per click necessarily. It's about the ROI.
Yes, absolutely.
And even more so as it gets more competitive, more people are online, more people are doing it, it becomes even more and more. So with that, Charles, I want to thank you for joining us on the Lead Mode Show. You are the very first guest that we've had on this live video marketing, what we're calling V-commerce, the V-commerce revolution that we're sitting here starting. I'd love to, talk to you offline in regards to paid traffic, things that we're doing here with live video, some of the stuff that we're going to be rolling out and sharing with, the experts in the industry, such as yourself and Todd and Russell Brunson and all those guys, and see how we can get, feedback from you guys on what we're testing and doing. I know you test everything, so you're like the mad scientist, sitting in there. But I really appreciate you coming on. And for any of you guys on Periscope, on Facebook Live, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you're watching this, if you want to find out more about Charles is the founder of the Media Buyers Association. Make sure I don't butcher this, my friend. It's the MediaBuyersAssociation.com, correct?
Media Buyers Association.
Okay, I want to make sure I nailed that one. So, MediaBuyersAssociation.com. He's got a ton, like you heard him talking about it. He's got a ton of free information, and then a ton of great paid information. Some really good courses. I've purchased some myself and learned a tremendous amount. So I really appreciate you coming on here, Charles. I had to hold back some of my laughter there for a little while. You did a great job of entertaining. And as always, guys, I want to give a special shout out. Charles jumped on here and was in our green room, and it literally looks like a cockpit. We've got a huge production that goes on here. This is not possible each and every week without our friends over at Enlightened Audio Visual, Rob Hicks, Sam Gonzalez, and Jenny Quinn. So I want to make sure that we always do a special shout out for them. If you're interested in trying to do this type of stuff for your business, try to create more visibility, get your brand out there, do it in a professional manner that we're going to ultimately be rolling out here and sharing with you guys why this, like what you see here, these little lower thirds, this production, our guest, Charles Kirkland, what we do before and after, how you use all of this, why this is the future, not just of content, but this is the future of e-commerce, or what we're calling V-commerce. It's the future of video marketing, traffic, all of that kind of stuff. Make sure you check out Enlightened Audio Visual on their Facebook page, and coming very soon on their website. So those are my special thanks today. Now, if you guys like what you heard, make sure you give us a follow. Make sure you come back, head over to our Facebook page, The Lead Solution. Follow us there. We're on Instagram. We're across social media. But most importantly, with what Charles shared with you guys today, if you're running traffic and you're not having a lot of success, there's a couple of things where you probably could use some help in making sure that you've got it all straightened out, set up correctly. Number one is the traffic side, and that's what Charles and I talked about today. But you heard us talk about and mention this concept of bridge pages, and it's a key element of paid traffic. But most importantly, it's called a bridge page because what it does is it takes people off of social media or off of the channel they're on, and it takes them to where you can make your offers. So if you're interested in finding out how bridge pages work and ultimately what we call funnels, we've got a free 30-day funnel course for you. It's free, and you can find that over at theleadsolution.com, or we could use last week's link, which Corey or Dallin can throw into the comments on Facebook, or if you're on Periscope, you can click the link in my bio. But if you're on Facebook, go to leads, leadz.pro/leadmode6. Charles, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to steal the strip tease analogy.
Absolutely. I tell you, it's one that everybody can recognize.
Yeah. I use a house analogy, and I think it works well for real estate agents. But I got to tell you, man, strip tease and chocolate milk, who doesn't like that?
You can't go wrong with that. That needs to be the next headline. Who can say no to that?
We're gonna test that. The striptease and chocolate milk method.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, guys, I've enjoyed it. Thank y'all for having me. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a good one.
I appreciate it, Charles. Take care.
Thanks. Have a good one. All right. Bye-bye.
We're all done.